series is next, then the Suikoden series. Then I'll see if I can find Wild Arms. Oh my god, I think Wild Arms 1, 2, and 3 right now. So Wild Arms might be in there. On the way you said March. I am Canadian. Yes, I am.
What have you been up to?
I've been tracking you down.
I'm live on TikTok too, Momo. Streamlabs finally released a thing where you can multi-stream. So I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on Twitch at the same time. You're just like, who the fuck is this guy talking to? Where are these questions coming from? I've just got questions on a sheet right here that I'm just reading from.
It would surprise nobody here.
Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger. I tried to get into The Secret of Evermore, but not my cup of tea. I think I just heard about Evermore recently. I was looking at a video on YouTube that was about Evermore, but I never played it. Dark Cloud. I also have Dark Cloud 1 and 2. Oh, you're definitely one of my people, that's for sure. Dark Cloud was a good series. I enjoyed the different mechanics they had in that game.
Hey, keep it cool. You'll wake her up.
I have Arc the Lad as well. I'm currently going through Arc the Lad right now in my off time. I'm currently just a little bit after the point where hi Momo. I'm currently just after the part where Dark and why am I forgetting his name? Because I'm currently playing the game right now. I will. Thanks for stopping by. Where Dark and Karg just they met up on the island where they went into the cave. So I'm just after that part. I've had Arc the Lad for a while. I had it on disc, but I never beat it before. And then I find out they put it out on fucking it's in the retro collection for the PS5, and I was like, yes, of course I'm going to fucking play it. I finally get the chance to fucking beat it. Let's see here. There's actually more than one Arc the Lad game too, which I believe is also on the PlayStation Store, if I remember correctly. But it's not the same kind of combat style, I don't think. I can't remember because I played it for a little bit, but then I was like, it's not the Arc the Lad that I thought I was getting. It might not be on the PlayStation Store now, but I think it was at least on the PS3 store.
So they're trying to end it all in a single blow.
It looks like that.
The one on the PlayStation 2. I think it was also on the PlayStation 2. I can't remember if it's a prequel or a sequel, but there's a couple of the same characters in it. I think it's a sequel, because I think it's got a couple... I think it's got, like, the kid with the green mask. I can't 100% remember. But I started playing and I was like, this is not the combat style that I remember. So I just kind of, like, dropped it. But there's so many, like, JRPGs that are, like, my go-to. But yeah, Sea of Stars was fucking great. Secret of Mana. Breath of Fire is another one that I'd like to get back into. I think I only played one of the Breath of Fire series, but, like, Breath of Fire is just a great mechanic. A Mario RPG, 100%. I feel like they need to do that a lot more with, like, different platformer games and stuff, is to do RPGs with them. There's just so much that you could do with them. Like, there's somebody that told me apparently there is a Spyro the Dragon RPG out there somewhere, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean? And it's apparently the prequel to, like, Skylanders, I think. So I was just like, what? A Metal Gear Solid RPG would be fucking sick.
No, wait. You're sick.
Or even even if they didn't do like a JRPG style, do like a Metal Gear Solid like tactics game. Because like it's Metal Gear Solid. Like, it's supposed to be like a stealth tactics game, so like why not make a tactics game out of it? Like, I feel like that would be really, really good.
Can you please stay by her side?
Yes.
It's basically an RPG, right?
Dion is still in the research.
Research lab.
He's
Still preparing. I keep forgetting to pay attention to here, and then they tell me to go somewhere, and I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to be going? Like right now, I think, I'll be right back. Like, that's what I mean. Like, there's so many games that they need to just... Like, it's kind of like the thing, like, where I was talking about before. Where, fucking... Oh, what am I trying to say here? Where, like, when I was talking about Final Fantasy, where, like, the Final Fantasy battle system has changed so much. Like, 13 is still kind of pseudo, turn-based, but 10 was really the last turn-based one of them. And, you know, obviously 11 was very MMO-like, and they...
Very MMO-like.
Did I say 11 or 12?
11.
Because I meant to say 12. But 12 was, like, a very MMO-style battle system. And then 13 came back out, and they kind of went back to the turn-based of it. So I'm in Aquios right now. Trigger and Cross are peak to me. I love Trigger and Cross. There's so many people that don't like Chrono Cross for some reason. And I don't know why. Like, Cross was really good, and the turnaround, like, the tweak they did for the battle system, I really, really enjoyed. Like, the percentages down the bottom. Well, there's, of course, there's haters to all games. I almost thought you said ASL there for a second, Momo. But, like, I love when they take turn-based systems and they, like, kind of tweak them a little bit. Like, obviously, Chrono Cross has your... Chrono Cross has your, like, what am I trying to say here? Like the double teams and triple teams and stuff like that. The element system, yes. Then also at the same time, Chrono Cross has the way that you equip your different abilities and the way that you have the percentage of how many you can hit. So you can hit, like, a lot of really small hits, or you can hit very few large hits, and it's not just that one hit that you get like most RPGs, or what they did with Legend of Dragoon, where Dragoon has the addition system. Like, the addition system was absolutely beautiful. Like, I love seeing, like, when they tweak stuff like that. Like, there's no reason why they shouldn't. Like, there's so many different ways to do different things with turn-based systems. Dragoon, if you have not played Dragoon and you love Chrono Trigger, you love Chrono Cross, you love Sea of Stars and, like, the old school RPGs like that, Legend of Dragoon is fucking peak. Like, there is not a person that I have seen that is, or heard of, that has played Dragoon that has not liked it. The story is absolutely phenomenal. The combat system is really good. The only thing is, Dragoon can be really hard at times because it is really hard to level up. Like, you can sit there in Dragoon and, like, grind for hours, and you might only gain a few levels. I've never hit max level in that game, and almost every other RPG game I have max leveled before endgame. With time travel. Sea of Stars is a very, very excellent game. If you're if you haven't played Sea of Stars yet, Sea of Stars, especially if you like Chrono Trigger, Sea of Stars is very nostalgic in that sense, where it feels like a Chrono Trigger game just from with the way they work the graphics around. And Dragoon, like, the way the addition system works. So basically, what it is there's a square in the middle of your screen, and there's this other square that slowly starts to rotate. And when it hits the square in the center, you have to hit the attack button again.
But there's no I have to take all of the usable runological weapons to Aria. No, who cares about that now? It's not.
Yeah, 100%. It's a very big homage to Chrono Trigger.
Who cares about that?
But the way the additions work in Dragoon is there's multiple hits per.
Did someone tell you?
But Treasure of the Rudis has a really fun magic system. See a Star? I haven't.
Was the name of a childhood friend?
But like the way the additions work is there's multiple hits per attack, and you unlock more as they come up. And they have some of them have more, some of them have less. But the way they work is some of them do more damage, and some of them give you more SP.
I can't leave my
And
now. You know about her
Treasure of the
anyway.
Rudis. I've never heard of that one either.
Your childhood friend
And some of them give you more SP, and SP is what brings you, what makes you get to your Dragoon level faster. Like, because when you
war and went to live with relatives.
activate your Dragoon, you get, like, magic, or you get so many attacks in it, so I think there's, I can't remember what the max is, I think it's 5. So, when you activate your Dragoon and you turn into your Dragoon form, you get 5 attacks in it, whether it's a regular attack or one of your magic attacks.
She's at the inn. See her.
So you kind of base your combat around whether you want to be in Dragoon more often or you want your addition to do more damage. But a lot of the times you're... Oh, I just fucking missed where I'm supposed to go. Only in Japan, but there's an English translation. Okay, okay. Like, there's so many friggin' RPGs that people have been telling me about that I'm like, I need to make, like, a list of these things. But, Arius. But, like, the combat for that, and then there's another one, the Legend of Legaia series. Like, where they have their art system. Legend of Legaia is, like, fucking also ridiculously phenomenal. Because you input, like, up, down, left, right in, like, specific orders to get them to do specific combo attacks after they've, you know, punched or kicked a couple times. And then as you level up, you can input more in a sequence to do more arts, like, one after another. And then they also have their magics on top of that. So if you haven't finished, like, finishing moves, it almost is, in a sense, but you can do them, like, you can do multiple after another, but, like, the stronger they are, because there's regular arts, there's, like, your mystic arts, and, like, multiple different, like, sections of arts, and some of them have elements attached to them as well. And the stronger they are, and the more ridiculous they are, the more directional inputs that they require. So sometimes you can't just sit there and be like, well, I'm just going to do, like, 6 of this ridiculous one. But you can sit there and be like, okay, well, this ridiculous one, I can combo off the back of it because it has these 3, that if I add these 2 in, it's this other art. So you can be like, okay, so I've got this ridiculous mystic art into this, ridiculous normal art into, like, this magic art. Or you can sit there and be like, well, I'm just going to do 6 of these regular arts in a row. Let's see, Sacred City. I wonder if they're going to be ready down here. I doubt it. Star Wars game. Knights of the Old... I actually mentioned Knights of the Old Republic before. There's Knights of the Old Republic 1 and there's Knights of the Old Republic 2. But there's also an MMO out, Knights of the Old Republic. Like, the 2 RPGs are Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and then the MMO is just regular Knights of the Old Republic. It's just, there's... they're usually called by their acronyms, which is... The RPGs are SWOTOR, because Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and then the MMO is just KOTOR. It's just under Knights of the Old Republic. You definitely look like somebody who's not supposed to be here. You're a fairy. Where the fuck did you come from? Oh, the Knights of the Old Republic games are very, very in-depth. And the lore for them. The one thing I find they need to do with anything Star Wars related right now is they need to get away from the fucking movies. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved all the movies, and, like, I'm gonna get some hate for that, because I like the new ones, I like the old ones. Don't care. I'll say it again. But, like, I like 1 through 9, I enjoyed all of them. Obviously, I enjoyed some of them more than others, but, like, when they're making games, they need to get the fuck away from the movies. Because that's what destroys some of these games. They're kind of messing... And they're... Like, that's the thing, though, is they're not running out of stuff to do with, like, the new ones. It's the fact that they're not following what used to be canon. Because there's a bunch of books out that was post-trilogy, like, post-original trilogy. And if they would have followed those, the movies would have been so much better. Like, I think Luke and Leia or not Luke and Leia. Luke is supposed to have, like, 2 or 3 kids. Leia and Han are supposed to have 2 or 3 kids. Like, and George Lucas even came out before, like, when the books were out. There was a couple of books that, like, were considered canon. They were considered to be what was supposed to be after the fucking movies. And then the post-trilogy came out and just got tossed to the side. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, this is, like, these books were, like, canon stuff. They were things that, like, a lot of the, like, hardcore Star Wars fans were like, this is amazing. Like, this needs to be made into a movie. But, like, you know, they did the prequel trilogy, and then they just kind of stopped with a lot of stuff. And then they're like, oh, let's make let's make a post-trilogy. And then they fucking went with some new stuff. And it's just like, why? Why would you not go with stuff that's, I guess, considered source material? But that's, like, I find that's what they do with a lot of movies that... I love the prequel trilogy. The prequel trilogy is, like, where the best fight scenes were. Like, the fight scenes and, like, a lot of the background stuff on Darth Vader and whatnot. Absolutely amazing. And that's the thing I find a lot that they make fun of in the post-trilogy is the fact that the lightsaber fights are fucking garbage. And don't get me wrong, the lightsaber fights are fucking garbage. But you gotta remember... you gotta remember the thing about, like, the new trilogy is the fact that nobody is a trained, like, person in lightsaber combat anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, Luke was trained a little bit by Yoda, like, 100%. But, like, everybody in the fucking new trilogy is trained by Luke. And Luke didn't have formal fucking lightsaber training. He only had a little bit. Like... So what can you really do about that? Like, nobody in the new trilogy has any kind of ridiculous lightsaber training, which is why in the initial trilogy the fight scenes were fucking insane, because all the Sith and all the Jedi were ridiculously formal trained in lightsaber combat. There's, like, I can't remember exactly how many forms there are, but, like, there's at least 10 forms of lightsaber combat, and I'm probably wrong at that. There's probably more than that. Like, Darth Maul, like, and that's what I mean, and, like, everybody's coming out with, and, like, the prequel trilogy, everybody's got, like, all these different, like, jinky lightsabers. Like, Count Dooku has the curve on his lightsaber hilt is to throw people off, because he can come at them with different angles and can kind of roll his lightsaber attacks to make his lightsaber combat non-conventional. Darth Maul, even though he's got a double-bladed lightsaber, he doesn't have... Please watch Arcane on Netflix. I've been meaning to get into Arcane. Arcane looks really, really good. But like Darth Saber, you heard me. Darth Maul doesn't have more than one attack just because he's got a double-bladed lightsaber. He's just got a weird way of coming at it because he can come at you from multiple different angles. Like, it's the same with, like, people who... Like, the only time you're gonna have multiple fucking... like, being able to attack twice at once is when you fucking have... I can't remember if he can separate them or not. I know one side can activate separately from the others. No, Momo, I'm sorry, I have not watched Arcane. I am very behind on so many different things, like so many different shows, that it's not even fit. I know you're judging me, Momo. It's alright. But I don't think he can separate them. I know there's a lot of lightsabers where they, like double-bladed lightsabers that can be separated in, like, lore and canon. But I can't remember. I also haven't watched the prequel trilogy in a while, so I'm not 100% sure if he does it in the movies. And another one that I know I'm going to get the judge for right now, because we're talking Star Wars, is I haven't watched all of the Clone Wars. It's another series that I've been meaning to get into. Like, I'm very, very behind on stuff. But, like, I haven't watched the Clone Wars, so I know he shows back up in the Clone Wars series. But I'm not sure if he separates them in that either. But, like, I feel like when they start making games, like, Star Wars-wise, and if they were to, and, like, making new movies and new series, yeah, the cartoon one. The cartoon one is canon, if I remember correctly, but, like, the cartoon one people love over, like, the movies. I see a lot of people that they love the Clone Wars series over anything else. I've been meaning to take a look at the new He-Man, the one with Mark Hamill in it. I think Mark Hamill plays Skeletor in that, if I'm correct. But, like, there's so much lore that they could tap into for new movies and new games from, like, all of the, like, pre-movies and post-movies stuff. Like, even the post-movie stuff, I think they need to get rid of the stuff that's too close to the movies. Like, I want them to go thousands of years after fucking everybody in the movies is just fucking dead. Like, they need to get away from the Skywalkers. A He-Man RPG would be insane. They need to get away from, like, the movie characters just in general. Get away from the Skywalkers, get away from the Palpatines, everything like that. Just get away from them 100%. Like, one of my favorite book series in Star Wars, if you get the chance to read it, is the Darth Bane series. And I know you're gonna judge me on that because the last name of my the last name I have there is Bane. For my persona and a character that I've been writing since I was in fucking junior high school. Reference them as legends. Like, I don't mind if they, like, reference the characters, but, like, just, like, I think they need to, like, just get away from them. Like, reference them in like a past tense, as in, like, these characters are long dead. Like, these, like, you know, reference the Skywalkers as a reason that the Jedi exist again. Like, bring the Jedi back. Bring the Sith back. Like, and I mean in full fucking force. Like, none of this, like, and don't get me wrong, I understand the Sith rule where, you know, one status, yeah, exactly, statues of them. But, like, one master, one apprentice, because they want to keep the Sith strong. And the funny thing is, like, the book series I'm talking about, the Darth Bane series, is, like, old school back when the rule of two was introduced. And Bane was one of the people that helped kind of instill it and it was around then that the rule of two was kind of introduced. Because Darth Bane is just a regular human Sith, but he grew up on a mining planet where he got fucking jacked as shit. He didn't know he had Force powers until later on. Make the Yoda statues the biggest ones, of course. And basically what happened, and there's so much that they add into this book series too. Like, he trained it, like, he ended up getting found by, like, a Sith that was visiting the planet, because I think Sith owned this mining planet, or mining asteroid, or whatever, but he got jacked because he was a miner. Like, he worked the mines every day of his life since he was a fucking child. He was basically a slave. He was a mining slave until his Force powers awakened, and he was able to use them. And then, got found by a Sith visiting, and got taken and got put through the Sith Academy. Like, this is very, very pre-Star Wars. She's going to end up sick. Yes. Like, very, very, like, pre-Star Wars. Like, thousands of years before the movies. And, like, the Sith had an academy. They trained people. And, like, they sat there and, you know, some people are going to be like, well, how did they train people? Like, the Sith are very deceptive and, like, they like to kill their own. 100% they do. And overtly killing somebody, and, like, I think it's funny because, like, Drow in D&D are, like, very similar to Sith in Star Wars, because back then they outright frowned upon you killing other Sith members in public. If you're in the Sith Academy and you outright attacked a fellow student or a fellow professor, you were outright shunned or killed. Like, I can't remember, I haven't read it in a very long time, but, like, it went bad for you. It went very, very bad for you. But if you managed to get rid of your rival in secret or in a way that made it look like an accident, you were praised. Even if it was like, they know it's you. They really know that it's you that did it. But they can't prove it. Then it was better for you, and they looked at you in a higher respect because you used your knowledge, you used your strength, and you moved yourself up the ladder. But at the same time, that's where the rule of two came into place. I'm a very rich man, sure. I'm not sure what I just did there, but I just gave her money. Invent lots of things. Okay, am I putting you in the same spot? Yeah, so it should be this one, Paterni. Oh, her! Okay. But, like, that's where the rule of two came into place, because while they were in school, there was ways for them to get away with stuff that was getting the, like, pretty much, like, the weaker people to, like, up their status. Where the fuck am I supposed to be? I can't leave. Time travel? I'm not sure what I did, but I gave her money. You're correct. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm not sure what I just did here, but she asked for $10,000, and I just said yes. Time travel? I'm trying to think. I think some of the Star Oceans have a little bit of time travel, but not a lot. Like, not in the sense that Chrono Trigger has time travel. Like, I know Chrono Trigger was very, very, like, unique with that. So that's one of the ones that I'm not 100% sure about. I think there's some that I played like long ago that had like time travel-esque stuff, but not in terms of like it was very ingrained in the things that you did. So that's where it's kind of hard to say that, because like the amount of RPGs I've played over the years is absolutely fucking redonkulous. Has something happened? Yes, something has happened. I want to go along with the story. Out of context opportunities. Thank you for that clip, Momo. Thank you for that clip. I'll have to download that and upload that to TikTok today. Oh, exactly. Like that's a very unique thing that Chrono Trigger has. Final Fantasy 13-3, Lightning's Return, has some kind of time travel mechanics to it. I think Final Fantasy 13-2 as well. Thank you, Zydo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it kind of reminds me of Kaido, so that's the way I'm pronouncing it. I'm doing a lot of retro games right now. But yeah, I think Final Fantasy 13-2, because you kind of jump back and forth in between like kind of like parallel and alternate realities. I think there's a little bit of time travel, if I remember correctly. I haven't played it in a very long time, but I think there's like things going on that are fucking around with time. Oh yes, Star Ocean 1 had some time travel in it. And I know 13-3 had kind of like, you were almost like reliving the same day over and over again. Or certain days, you only had a certain amount of time to complete all of the quests that you had going on before the time ended, and then you had to repeat the day, but things were different. Funny thing is that you mentioned Star Ocean 1. We've already done Star Ocean 1. I'm not sure why that didn't click into me, but there is some time travel in Star Ocean 1. Let's see here. Background game on Zack, and then it hints more to Zack's backstory, and then gives you some insight into Sephiroth a little bit.